Hey there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be the second video on the jet ski, the 1996 Kawasaki ZXi 1100. When I first got it, it didn't run at all. If you didn't see that first video, check it out. I've got it running. I've had it out once, and when I bought it, I knew that there was going to be there was a little bit of damage to the underside of the hull. But I got it running. I was excited. I went and put it in the water, ran great, and brought it home. I'm going on vacation next week, and I'm going to take this with me. I haven't ridden it since that first test drive because it ran great, and I didn't want to break it again before vacation. So I'm going to haul it up to the lake for a week and hopefully bring it back in perfect running order. But when I bought it, I crawled under this thing, noticed some damage, and didn't think a whole lot of it, and I almost didn't even get down there today and look at it again, and the damage was worse after the first ride. I probably only rode it for about 30 minutes on a small pond when I was doing my test on it, and so I'm very glad that I got under there and looked at it because it definitely needs some repair work. What I've got is this 3M high strength repair filler, and we'll get under there in a minute and take a look at it. So this is another project I got here in the background. Those are pretty cool. I don't think I'm going to make a video on those, but maybe next time I put a set together I will. So what we're going to do is sand down the spot, clean it with some brake clean, and then apply this epoxy filler and see how well it holds up, I guess. So let's go ahead and find some sandpaper, clean it up a little bit, hit it with some brake clean, and mix up this epoxy and apply it. It says it's only a 30-minute set time. I'll probably give it a little bit more than that, maybe a couple hours. Come back out, sand it down. If it needs another coat, we'll do that at that time, or else we'll hit it with some epoxy white paint and take it to the lake and see how well it holds up. So let's go ahead and apply that stuff, and we'll see how it goes. Well, that's fun, guys. I just did a whole bunch of work to this, prepping this area, and realized I had the GoPro set on photo mode, and I couldn't see it, so all I did was take a picture. So, go over it again quick. What I did is I used this piece of 60 grit sandpaper for an orbital sander that I had laying around for a different project. I just scuffed it all up around the outside, hit it with some brake cleaner, wiped it down with this paper towel just to get all the contaminants off of there so that the epoxy will stick to it. When I got under here this morning, this kind of stuff was hanging from it, so kind of surprised I didn't drown it the last time I had it on the water, but I got lucky, and it did not take in any water in the engine bay. So before I take this out to the lake for a week, I'm going to get this cleaned up. And so right now we sprayed that brake clean on it, so it's still a little bit damp to the touch, so we're going to let it dry up a little bit more. That brake clean dissipates very quickly, which is why I like to use it. So we're going to let that dry up a bit, and then we will start throwing some epoxy on there. So I'll be back with you here in a second once I start mixing that up. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and start mixing up this epoxy. I'm going to try to mix up enough that I can cover it all in this first coat, but if not, that's okay. We can go back and do a second. There's not great instructions on how much hardener to put in there, so I'm just going to start throwing some of this on the plate until it looks like it'll be enough for that area. This stuff does not smell good, which hopefully means it works great. It's only a 10-minute working time, so be fairly quick here. That might be a little bit too much of that. Using something other than a plate might have been a better idea, because the edges on this plate kind of get in the way. Seems like it's starting to mix in fairly well now. It's definitely starting to harden up a little bit already. So let's get down there. Should probably be wearing gloves for this. That looks just about right. I don't want to mess with it too much, because it's going to start hardening up here pretty quick. And then when I come down to sand this again, I'll actually use the orbital sander, because that'll make this much easier, because there'll be a lot more sanding than just from that prep. Okay, I'm going to leave it just like that. You can see it's already starting to harden up around the edges there. It's turning colors on us already. My eyes are burning. This stuff is strong, but that's okay. I think it actually went on really well. So let's let it dry, and then we'll be back for some sanding. Alright guys, it's been a couple hours now, so that epoxy should be rock hard. We're going to go down there with some 60 grit sandpaper on the orbital sander, clean that up, and then we'll hit it with the brake clean again before we paint it. I thought I had some white epoxy paint, but I can't find it, so I'm going to have to go grab that. This is the sander we're going to use. This is my plate of epoxy. I didn't clean it up. I bought a huge pack of these spreaders. And so this stuff is definitely cured. Yeah, and it's really hard to break. So hopefully it stuck to that ski well. I can't, nope, I did pull it off the spreader. Yeah, and it's so smooth there. But that's made so things don't stick to it. I bought a big pack of these so I can just throw them away so I don't have to reuse them. Let's get down there and sand this up a little bit and just see what we think. Okay, I'm just going to reuse this same piece of sandpaper that I used to prep this surface. I think that this stuff probably actually sands pretty well. Alright, here we go. Wear a mask. Alright, that was not fun. I'm gonna need to get a fresh piece of sandpaper. Alright. We got some fresh sandpaper. Take 2. Well, I agree that this is some high-strength filler. Holy crap. It doesn't even sand very well. So I think I'm going to call this repair repaired. It's the bottom of the ski. Hit it with some paint. I don't know. If I had a better lift, I think I'd spend more time sanding it. Getting like something a little bit different than sandpaper, like a, I don't know, something with just the tiny squares in it that doesn't get clogged up like sandpaper does. You could probably do a lot better with this. Maybe in the future I'll come back and clean this up a little bit more, but yeah. Let's get out from under here. Should we hit it with the brake clean real quick? No way. Okay. Oh, come back here. Okay. Guys, that's going to do it for this repair. Please be nice in the comments. Like I've said, this is an $800 jet ski. We had a soft spot there. We don't have one anymore. So I'm going to take this up to the lake for a week, rip it around, see if I can break anything else on it. Every day when I pull it out, I'm going to double check that repair there on the bottom and make sure that everything's holding. But I do think it will. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sure I'll have more videos on this ski and all sorts of other stuff going on around the house. I'm going to link the marine filler that I use down in the comments below for Amazon, so make sure you check that out if you're looking to do something like this. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment. It really helps out the channel and I'd really appreciate it. But until next time, have a great day.